Your check. Stephanie, it's such an honor to have you with us tonight. For those who don't know a lot about Rotary, we're a group of civic-minded citizens who provide humanitarian service and advancement of peace. Our motto is service above self. Rotary 1905 in Chicago and has grown to over 1.4 million members on 6 continents and about every single country in the world. This evening, you'll learn more about the good works of Rotary and the people who help make it happen. I'd like to take a couple of minutes to recognize some of our guests this evening. From the city, Mayor Pat Fallett, City Council members Corey Strait and Joni L. Jancic, our City Manager Andy Tarowski, and our Chief of Police Rachel Caracello. I would add that all but one of those folks are Rotary members. My neighbor, my friend, and our Superintendent of Schools, Michelle Schaefer, and School Board member Barb DiGiacomo. We also have with us this evening Family Court Judge Matt Kreitzer. Thank you, Matt. And with Rotary, of course, we have Stephanie. I'd also like to welcome our current Governor of District 6650, Kim Weiss. We also have numerous past district governors with us this evening. I would like the previous and current district governors, if you would stand up, please, to be recognized. And we also have numerous past presidents of the Louisville Rotary Club. Would you also please stand? And while you're standing, we have numerous clubs representing us tonight. I'd also like any past president or current president of Rotary to please stand, whether you're with Louisville or any other club in the region. It takes a village, folks, to do good work, and you've seen a lot of those folks this evening already, and we'll introduce more as the evening goes on. One key aspect of Rotary is international peace and understanding, and that's a very strong focus within Rotary and the Louisville Rotary Club. With us tonight are international students Serena Di Pello from Italy. Serena. And Maria Cuzol from Brazil, who happens to also be my exchange daughter for this year, Maria. And finally, one of Louisville Rotary's most important traditions is to identify individuals in our community who exemplify service above self. And we do this through our annual Citizen of the Year Award. This is one of the highest honors bestowed in our community, and I would like to ask all of our Louisville Rotary Citizens of the Year to please stand. This is what 100 years of service looks like, folks. Many people who bring it all together, and we should be very proud of the good works of the Louisville Rotary over the last 100 years. What I'd like to do is just cover a couple of housekeeping topics before I introduce our club president. Fundraising is a never-ending part of what we do. Tonight is no exception. We have 2 fun options for you this evening. So we have our 50-50 drawing, and we have our silent auction over at the tables here tonight. You can pay cash, you can pay by check, and if you didn't bring any of that, we'll bill you at the end of the night. But we expect to see everybody up here bidding tonight and buying tickets. All the dollars go to the good work of the Rotary Club. We'll announce those winners following our guest speaker tonight, and you'll have about until 8 p.m. To put in your bids and buy your tickets. Cash bar, folks, will be open till 10 o'clock. After things close this evening, as we witnessed earlier, the fellowship of Rotary is strong and real. We encourage you to stay tonight and enjoy the company of the people who have come in from all over to visit and celebrate this evening. We'll talk about releasing people for dinner when we get closer to that. But before we get into all of that, it now gives me great honor to introduce the president of the Louisville Rotary Club, Jim Dutter.
Well, thank you for that, Greg. I'd like to welcome all of those who traveled here tonight to help us celebrate 100 years. It means a lot to our club for you to take the time to show up, and you showed up. In fact, Rotary always shows up. So this has been a momentous year for Louisville. Not only for our club, but for the community. We opened a brand new library. Brock Hutchison made it happen. We won the state basketball championship in Division II, so hey, right? And our club went from 39 members to 51 members this past year under the tutelage of Randy Starr, our past president. Randy, stand up and take a bow. I'd like to spend a few minutes to give you some examples of how we have served our community throughout the years. Greg mentioned that Rotary started in 1905. Well, in 1925, a group of businessmen in the community got together and said, we're going to join the Rotary, and we're going to make a club in Louisville. And they did. Frank Clapper, which is a very familiar name in Louisville, was our very first president. And the gentleman in 1926 got together, went to the East Ohio Gas Company, and convinced them to bring a natural gas line into the city. Today, that seems like, what's the big deal? Back then, I bet you it was a big deal, because they were heating their homes with coal, wood, that sort of thing. And not only that, we got street lights in downtown Louisville, powered by gas, natural gas. So it was a big deal, I bet you. Go forward about to 50-some years to 2006, and we had a need for restrooms in Metzger Park. So Al Gress, I think, was the spearhead behind this. Al, why don't you stand up, take a bow. He was determined to make this project happen when people said it's impossible. We still have those same restrooms in Metzger Park, and they're still in great shape. So thank you for that. We also built a splash pad at Aljancic Park, and the kids love it. It's a place where they can go and cool off. Doesn't cost anything, you just go and enjoy it. So we took care of that. We also, just this week, installed 3 peace poles in Louisville. And I want to point out Mr. Jim Edwards and Shorty Weisel. Stand up, take a bow, because there's the guys that made it happen. And Jim says, never again, don't test me to do it again. It was a lot of work, but they got it done, and we have 3 more to put in. So we're looking for 3 locations to put those in, and we'll find them within the next few months, or maybe next spring. But they're beautiful. If you came in from 62, you'll see one just before the brand new fire station, which is another thing that just happened this year. It's not even open yet, but it's brand new, and thanks to the city, they made it happen. And it's a beautiful fire station, and it also will have a safe haven baby station where they can drop off a baby if they choose to. So great things are happening in Louisville. We also do Coats for Kids, and we make sure that any child in Louisville will go into winter with a new coat, hat, and gloves. And I think we had about 130 kids last year that we put coats on. So. We provide $10,000 annually for community grants. So the process is, and Scooter Israel, where's he at? Where's Scooter at? He's here somewhere. Stand up and take a bow with Scooter. He runs the grant program. So they submit an application for a grant, and Scooter and his committee get together, and they make a decision on what they were going to recommend, and the board takes a look at it, and then the membership votes on it. So that's how that works, and we give out $10,000 every year. This could not happen without our flag program that we have, that Jim Edwards runs, and Glenn, where you at? Glenn Heiler. They all, and I don't know if anybody else is here that works with that specifically, but those guys make this thing happen, and we have about 1,400 and some flags out in the community that we lease every year. A couple of years ago, Randy Starr, our past president, talked to the board and the membership about a legacy project for our 100 years. We want to leave something behind that says we did this. And that was Randy's doing. And he made it happen. We've raised over $250,000 to put towards this amphitheater. It will happen. The city is all on board with it. The city is helping us with that all the way through the process. They're going to build it now, and we're going to give them the money we've raised, and we'll have a brand new amphitheater. And Randy's going to talk about that a little bit later. So he's got a couple boards over there that some of you are going to be interested to see. Let's see. I'd like to recognize a few folks in the audience tonight that work, that are members of the Louisville Rotary. First, the 3 ladies that put this together. Cynthia Kirchner, take a stand. Amy Simpkins, take a stand. Jennifer Anderson, please stand. These 3 ladies put this together. And I also want to give kudos to Denny Valentine, our tremendous, Denny can do anything. He was here early this morning, putting a flag up, getting the banner up, and doing other sort of things, taking pictures. Denny does it all. If you need something done, Just ask Denny, he'll do it. He's great. Then we have, and Denny, take a stand. Where's Denny? Denny, stand up for a minute, will you please? All right, he's bashful. Oh, there he is. All right. We also have behind me Rick Dunlap playing the music, providing the sound. And Rick is a longtime member of our club. And then we have Rob Johnson over there. You see him back there on the headsets. He's doing a live feed on this tonight. So, thank you, Rob. And Rob is also a member of our club. So, as you can see, we have a lot of resources here. How about Cindy Petiti? Where's Cindy? Cindy, where are you? Stand up and take a bow. Those flowers you see on the tables tonight, that's Cindy Petiti. She made it happen. And of course, she knew the Rotary colors were yellow, right? So, yellow mums. Let me find my place. Cindy Fisher, where are you at, Cindy? Cindy, there you go. Cindy's a member of our club. She also runs a community magazine in Louisville, and she's working on a 100 years of history book for our club. And she's done a great job putting it together. It was supposed to be here tonight, but somebody misspelled Louisville at the printer. You know how autocorrect works? Yeah, it can mess you up, can't it? Yeah, I was sending Denny an email the other day, and I said, Denny, in the email, and I hit send, and by the time I hit send, I looked down and it was Debbie. So it happens. But we'll get them available. She did make some copies, photocopies. They're back there on the table if you want to take a look at them. But we will have a hardback copy, 2 hardback copies. They'll be at the Louisville Nimishilla Historical Society, and they'll also, which is run by Ron Derry. Ron's here. Ron, where are you at? Please stand, because that guy, there he is over here. Ron runs the Historical Society, and he's also a member, longtime member of the club, and past president. And he we'll have one of those at the Historical Society, and also the library will have one, the other hardback copy. And so they'll be there forever. So thank you for that. I'd like to recognize again Jim Edwards. Would you please stand, Jim? This young man will celebrate his 54th year as a member of the Louisville Rotary Club in November. I'd like to ask Cynthia to stand again. Come on, Cynthia. Cynthia was the first female member of the Louisville Rotary Club. She was our Jackie Robinson. And Cynthia used to, she asked her about it sometimes, being the first female member was not easy. Also, Cynthia was the first female president, of course. So. I'd like to recognize Bill Wood. Please stand when I call your name, because there's quite a few here. Barb DiGiacomo, Dave Yeagley, Tricia McAllister Atkins. This is our team that handles the foreign exchange program. Last year we had 3. This year we have 2. And we're so lucky to have those students here. We really appreciate them. But what these guys have done is amazing. They make sure that they're well taken care of for every day they're here. And the other thing I'd like to point out is that Barb Giacomo, who is also a school board member, she started a program called an ambassadors program. And I would encourage anybody, Barb, stand up a minute again. Anybody who is interested, talk to her tonight because it is a phenomenal program. Pardon? And Trish Adkins, I'm sorry. Trish Adkins, those 2 girls, ladies, right there, Trish is a teacher at the middle school. They take care of the ambassadors program. Last year was the first year for it. We had 10. And she worked with the principal. This year, there's 25. So they're emailing, yes. They're emailing, these students are emailing the exchange students before they even leave their country. Say, hey, we can't wait for you to get here. We're looking forward to seeing you. Thank you. And I might add that when Serena came into the airport at 11:45 p.m. at Akron-Canton Airport, and Trish Adkins, Barb, myself, and about 6 ambassadors were there at 11:45 at night to welcome Serena to the USA. So it's a great program. Talk to Barb or Trish, either one. They'll tell you how to do it. Tremendous program. I'd like to recognize, and as I call your name again, please stand up. Mayor Pat Fallett, City Manager Andy Trowski, Police Chief Rachel Carasello, Councilperson Joni Aljanci, and Corey Street, and all but one are members of the Rotary Club. And also Brock Hutchinson, our library director. All these folks work really well, really close with the Rotary Club, as well as Michelle Schaefer, our superintendent of schools. You want to stand and be recognized. Yes. We work so well together in this community that it's real easy to get things done. Now I'd like to recognize some of you. If you work or have worked in the education field, please stand. These folks are so important to the life of our community as well as our nation. And we're very happy to have them. Now, how about medical field? If any work or have worked in the medical field at any time, or if you're a first responder, please stand and be recognized. They take really good care of people like me, especially my wife, Vicki, who is a retired nurse, and she makes sure that I take my medicine all the time, and gives me heck if I don't. if I forget. How about the military? Those who have been in the military or are currently in the military, please stand and be recognized. I think Greg mentioned it takes a village, and he's right. And we have a really great village here in Louisville. Once again, I'd like to thank you for being here tonight to help us celebrate our 100th year. Enjoy your evening, and now I'd like to invite our mayor and Rotarian, Pat Fallett, to the podium. Thank you.
It's always truly an honor to present proclamations on behalf of the city for the accomplishments that you had done. And I'll tell you, over 100 years, you have accomplished a lot. And I congratulate you, and I'm very pleased to be part of this organization. So from the office of the mayor, the proclamation reads, whereas the Louisville Rotary Club is celebrating their 100th anniversary of service above self. And whereas Rotary International was founded on February the 23rd, 1905 in Chicago, Illinois, establishing a worldwide network of business and professional leaders dedicated to humanitarian service. And whereas Rotarians around the world gather weekly to fulfill their guiding principle of service above self, using the Rotary four-way test of, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? To serve through exemplary dedication of the dignity of all people and the respect of human rights. And whereas Louisville Rotary Club, Club number 3594, District 6650, began during the summer of 1925 on the front porches of 8 visionary men who met to discuss the need for a service organization. On August the 31st, 1925, they met with Joseph M. Markley, Governor's Special Representative, and drew up the Rotary Club of Louisville's charter. The certification dinner was held at Paradise Church on October the 6th, with more than 300 in attendance, and the Rotary Club of Louisville was born. Whereas there are no time wasted since its conception providing projects that have made lasting impressions for the Louisville community and beyond. On February the 3rd, 1926, the club met with the East Ohio Gas Company, pressing for natural gas service in Louisville and for gas street lighting for the business district to be financed by the local property owners. Both projects came to fruition with the Rotary leading the way. And whereas the community service projects, too numerous to name, all of them continued a century later. To name just a few notable projects to include the Doughboy statue, the restrooms at Metzger Park, the splash pad, major contributor at Aljancic Park, Warren Coats project, providing winter coats, hats, and gloves to pre-K to 5th grade students in the Louisville community, and leasing American flags during 6 holidays, including Constitution Week, for the Fly of the Flag project. Fly of the Flag project not only creates a spectacular patriotic setting in Constitution Town with hundreds of flags aligning the yards and businesses, but also raising large funds to support our local community group. And whereas in honor of 100 years of service over self, the Louisville Rotary embarked to another monumental project to complete the amphitheater in Metzger Park, creating a place for the community to gather and enjoy events. Now therefore I, Patricia Ann Fallett, Mayor Council Member of the City of Louisville, do hereby proclaim this 27th day of September 2025 as the Louisville Rotary Club 100 Years of Service Above Self. throughout the city of Louisville, and I urge all citizens to share in the spirit of appreciation and honoring Louisville Rotarians, past, present, and future, for their selfless dedication and encompassing the meaning of community spirit. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Louisville, Ohio, to be affixed this 27th day of September, 2025. Patricia Ann Fallett, Mayor Council Member, City of Louisville, Ohio. Congratulations.
At this time, folks, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'd like to call up to the podium Father Thomas Beulah to do our invocation.
Thank you very much. I'm honored and happy to be here on this historic occasion. Let us bow our heads in prayer and invoke God's presence and blessings upon us. O God, loving Father, we invoke your blessings upon us as we gather this evening in celebration of the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Louisville Rotary Club with its motto, service above self. It would be on the evening of August 24, 1925, when 8 Louisville men met with a group of Canton Rotarians and the former Louisville Bank. Praise be you to God for these past 100 years. Lord God, we thank you for this historic evening that for the past 100 years, the Louisville Rotary has been faithful both in song and in dedication to its 4-way test. Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? We thank you, Lord God, that this motto has withstood the test of time these past 100 years. Up to the present day, with such successful projects as has been enumerated. Dear Lord God, continue to bless this Rotary Club with an even brighter and more energetic future, combined with a strong and effective leadership that will enhance the quality of life for our Louisville community. Please bless the food of which we are about to partake. Bless the hands that have prepared it and will serve it. Bless us too with an evening of engaging and stimulating conversation and fellowship. Help us, Lord God, also not to forget those who are in want and may go to sleep tonight hungry. Lift up our hearts and spirits to an even more dedicated commitment to our motto, service above self, to your praise, glory, and honor. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
All right, folks. 2 more things standing between you and dinner. You might as well stay standing because we're going to have you stand. So you've heard a couple of times tonight the discussion of the 4-way test. I don't know if people are aware of it, but the 4-way test was actually adopted by Rotary International in 1943 as part of its ethical guide on how we direct our decisions in business, in club activities, and in life. What I'd like to do, and I'd invite you all to join me now for everyone to recite the 4-way test. So of the things we say, think, or do? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? All right, we're going to have a little fun. In 1905, the first songs of Rotary began. So singing at Rotary became a tradition, and in 1905, there was a club in the U.S. who was having a contentious meeting. One of the club members, to try and break the ice, got up and started singing, and ever since then, song has been a part of the Rotary tradition. In fact, in 1918, Rotary actually created its first song book. So, to join us in song and lead us in song tonight is Mark Ziegler, our song master. Where are you, Mark? Come on up.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, everybody, for being here this evening. The producers have limited me this evening. We're only going to have one song. So, Jim, the Beatles are taking the night off. We're going to sing a patriotic song. You know, this is a great, beautiful facility. And I don't believe our architect is here this evening. Joe, are you here? Joe Caplia? There he is, Joe Caplia. Okay. Joe and Annie. Joe designed this place. He also designed the library, and he's working on our new amphitheater. And coincidentally, Joe grew up on a farm just a little northwest over here, a couple of 100 yards. So when we sing, I want to sing it loud. I want them to hear it over at the Caplia homestead. And keep in mind as we sing this song, all the veterans. We recognized you earlier, but people that have served, people that are currently serving, and those that will serve. All our veterans are military. This is with an introduction from the U.S. Air Force Band. You're a grand old flag. 2, 3, 4. And old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. The emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. May old acquaintance be forgot. Keep your eye on the grand old flag.
Now, every week, Mark brings that energy to our meeting with the new song. So you can only imagine the Louisville Rotary Club meetings every week. Please be seated, everyone. We are now going to break for dinner. I'd ask that you be seated until the servers come and release you from your table to the dinner. We'll enjoy more fellowship and conversation after dinner, and please enjoy your meal.
Hello everyone, I'm Tegan Evans. As many of you know, when the Louisville Herald moved on into retirement, the city of Louisville, Nimishillen Township, and all of its community members were left with a void. The community lost its ability to hear about local events, news, information, sports, and community projects. We lost the ability to come together for Louisville's betterment. Well, we have a solution for you, Spotlight Media Network. Spotlight Media Network is a place anyone can go, whether it be social media, YouTube, or our website, that will display information in different formats to show the best Louisville has to offer. One last thing, if you have something newsworthy or something you would like the community of Louisville to hear about, send us an email at spotlightlouisville1@gmail.com. So if you want to see what is happening in Louisville or the best Louisville has to offer, check out Spotlight Media Network, where we know Louisville is #1.
Did you know that when you invest in your smile, you're investing back into your Stark County community? Welcome to Thomas Dental. My name's Tanya. I'm Dr. Mike's practice manager. Every day, we're investing back into our community. Here are just a few of our community efforts. Here at Thomas Dental, our mission is bringing smiles back to our community, one smile at a time.
Are you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle with a great price? Then check out Ted's Auto Sales. Ted's has a great selection of vehicles and will find you the right one that fits your needs. Ted's was founded on trust, integrity, and respect, and has been serving in the Louisville, Ohio and Nimishillen Township area for over 65 years. So call Ted's today at 330-875-9401. Ted's Auto Sales, Louisville's premium pre-owned dealer.
All right, folks, we're going to move on with the program. If you're still eating, please enjoy and take your time. I hope everybody enjoyed dinner tonight. Let's give it up for Scratch Steakhouse. And through fellowship tonight, while I think we've had almost everybody stand up and be introduced tonight, there's one special guest here tonight that I would like to call out. So Bill Pizzuti, 66 years Rotarian from Minerva. Bill is a young 100 years old and a World War II vet, and he is still driving the membership at the Minerva Rotary. Bill, thank you for your service and thank you for your time with Rotary. Thank you, Bill. All right, now to talk about the amphitheater project and to introduce our keynote speaker, I'd like to call up our immediate past president, Randy Starr.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Most importantly, Ohio State 24, Washington 6. Our 100-year anniversary project has been worked on for about 2 years now. And I think everybody hopefully enjoyed themselves this evening. Great food, fellowship, and hopefully you'll continue to do that. 2 years ago, we also started on something that we wanted to call Leave a Legacy to Louisville. And we had a whole bunch of different projects and a whole bunch of different suggestions. Long story short, we settled on the amphitheater. Approximately 25 years ago, Cynthia Kirshner and Greg Denarda were part of a Leadership Canton, or also known as Leadership Stark County program. And they were tasked with finding some kind of a project for Louisville to make it a better community. So they decided to build an amphitheater at Metzger Park here in Louisville. They put together the permanent cement floor and so on, the steps, landscaping, and it's been used and continues to be used on a regular basis. We decided that we wanted to finish the job, if you will. We worked with the city of Louisville. Thank you to the council and to Andy Tarosky. Andy has been helping us so much with this project. It's amazing. And also thank you to Joe Caplia and his crew of architects who have done a lot of work tirelessly to help us get this whole project done. We put together bids to complete the amphitheater. That meant a cover, 520 lineal feet by 5 feet wide of cement path to make it ADA and handicap accessible from the library. Thanks, Brock. And also to do some lighting, some sound, some security, and so on and so forth. Bottom line, it was going to cost about $260,000 to do the job. We went to work. The city of Louisville graciously helped us. We also picked up a land water grant from the federal government of $123,000. and several other things. We sold the naming rights to the amphitheater. In one exciting night, and I think you were there, we started the morning with a bid of $25,000 for the rights to the amphitheater, and at 6:30 that night, the closing bid was $92,000. That was kind of cool. So thanks to Rotarians, about 2/3 of the Rotarians in our group have contributed money to this. Businesses and also other individuals, we have raised just over $350,000. As they say in the late night infomercials, but wait, there's more. I've heard from a number of people in the community that the canvas cover that we were going to put up over top of the amphitheater just didn't make it, wasn't good enough, so on and so forth. Joe Caplia and his crew, the architects, have been working for us and with us to put together a better solution. And that solution tonight, there may be a picture on your table that looks like that, but this is what the finished amphitheater will look like. If you're from Louisville, it has a striking resemblance to the library, which is kind of nice. But bottom line, that's going to cost roughly $400,000, and that $400,000 also includes that ADA accessible path, cement path from the library down to the amphitheater. So right now we have around $350,000 pledged, or already in the bank, if you will, in-kind services. So do the math, we're short about $50,000 to make this project a reality. And if anyone in the audience tonight would like to contribute to the program, to the amphitheater program, and make it happen, we'd be happy to take your check. Also, if you do, we have these little cards that we've been handing out for about 1.5 years now. Any monies that's contributed to the program goes to the Louisville Community Foundation, which is a 501c3, so any monies contributed to from a business, for example, it's tax deductible. And we will have a very nice plaque next to the amphitheater highlighting all the names of the contributors to the amphitheater project. $100 minimum for individuals, $1,000 minimum for businesses. We've got levels of 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. And if you can help us out to do that, that would be great. I am going to pass around some of these cards and put them on your tables. If you want to take them home tonight and think about it or look at doing something, that would be outstanding. I'll be here up at this table afterwards. If you have any questions about it, please come up and see me. We good? All right, now I got to put my other hat on. Our keynote speaker tonight is Stephanie Urchik. I've had the pleasure and the opportunity to hear Stephanie speak, I think 4 times now. And every time that I listen to her, I learn something new about Rotary, and I kind of learn something new about life, which is kind of neat. There's only one thing wrong, Stephanie. You're from McMurray, Pennsylvania, and she's a Steelers fan. Don't hold that against her. Sit down, please. She served as Rotary International President 2024-2025 and is currently a member of the Rotary Foundation Board of Trustees. She's best known for her role in Rotary International strategic planning processes, and she has helped bring the action plan down to the club level to help us as Rotary clubs. And she continues to focus on membership growth, peace building, blending tradition and innovation, and more importantly, as most Rotarians know, the eradication of polio. She has served as a Rotary Director, Regional Foundation Coordinator, IA Training Facilitator, Council on Legislation Representation, President's Representative, and many other international zone and district committees. Her professional background is in higher education, consulting, and entertainment industry. And she received her doctorate degree in leadership studies from Indiana University of Pennsylvania and has been recognized and awarded by the Rotary Foundation as well as numerous community and international organizations. Would you please stand and give a warm Louisville welcome to Stephanie Urchik.
Thank you, Randy. Good evening, family of Rotary and friends of Rotary, and happy anniversary! Before I share some thoughts with you, I need to answer a question. For those, I can't see everybody. Now I can. Before I start, some of you may be wondering, what's with the cane? After years of being a folk dancer and a runner, and running all over the world, climbing monuments and churches and Machu Picchu, I wore my knees out. So I have knee surgery in my future. I went to the surgeon, and of course he took x-rays, and when he looked at it, he said, "Oh my God, honey, you're a hot mess." Well, at least I'm still hot. Oh God. And then I said to him, "Well, where should I start? Which one first?" He said, "I don't know. They all look bad. They're bone on bone." So the good news, bad news, he's a great surgeon, and I was scheduled to have that knee surgery on Monday. And on Friday, the bad news, my surgeon called me and said, "I've injured my wrist. So surgery is postponed for 6 weeks." So I'm probably going to be on a cane for another 6 weeks. So it is what it is. So first of all, Randy, thank you for inviting me to be a part of this very, very special celebration. You know, believe it or not, yeah, you can. You know better than I do.
No, not really. You're doing great.
Okay. Not every Rotary Club in the world will make it to 100 years. So what was it, or what is it about the Rotary Club of Louisville that brings you to 100 years, that makes you celebrate an increase in membership? You know, what are those things? Well, it's pretty simple. An active club is an attractive club. And when I listen to all of the things that your president and the mayor and Randy have talked about what you're doing, it's very clear that you are an important part of this community. I ask clubs very frequently, if you went away, would this community notice? And the answer here is a resounding yes. The community would notice. You are active. The second thing that's important is Rotary clubs have to be exciting. There has to be an excitement to keep people engaged. Think about it. People are giving up their time, their talent, their resources, and if they're not coming to an exciting event, they're going to look elsewhere. Think about what happens every Sunday in this country. NFL fans flock to stadiums around this country, wearing the gear, waving the towels in some places, and cheering constantly because it's exciting. I can't tell you how many times I'll go to Rotary Club meetings and a member will stand up and say, and ring the bell and say, "Welcome to our meeting. Today is Wednesday, December the 1st. Our speaker today is John Smith, who's going to talk about bovine insemination," or whatever, okay? I'm thinking, no wonder young people don't want to come. No wonder anybody would want to come to that club. You have to be exciting. We have the best organization in the world, and that's how we should sell it. And that's how we should live it. So tonight I'm going to speak briefly about 4x4. 4 is a very important number in Rotary. We have the 4-way test, the first 4 members in the Rotary Club. So 4 is important. So the first 4 things I want to talk about are just some thoughts about the priorities of our action plan. As you heard, I've been working with the action plan since 2016. It's a very significant tool for clubs. There is no mandate. Rotary is never going to say to your club, Louisville, you have to do this action. We're not going to say that. Nobody will. It's a tool. It's only for those clubs who want to get better. When you have your 125th anniversary, I'm hoping that the back of that program has 104 members listed. And the action plan is a way to get there. So what are those 4 priorities? Many of you already know them. And if you don't, they're on the website. It's real easy to find. So the first one is increasing our impact. We have to make sure that the things we're doing make sense in our communities and around the world. This is about measurement. It means that as you look at those programs, your projects that you're trying to do, think about the impact and how you measure. Now, I talk to clubs all the time that say, our club does the dictionary project. That's great. My club does that too. And I'll say, what's the impact? Well, we gave 500 dictionaries to our 3rd graders. That's not the impact, that's the outcome. The impact is what's going to happen to that family once that child moves through and begins to read better. That's the impact. You know, last year we were working with the theme, The Magic of Rotary. That came from a project in the Dominican Republic. When I was there and we were installing water filters, you know, and the little boy said to me, when I was doing the test, dirty water in and it came out clean, dirty water in and it came out clean, and he said, lady, show me that magic again. The water filter wasn't the magic. That wasn't the impact. The impact was the fact that those boys and that family could now go back to school. They didn't have to walk for water. The mother in the family could find employment because she didn't have to walk for water. That's the impact. An easier way to think about it in general is it's like going on a diet. If you decide that that's what you're going to do, you have to get on the scale first, and you have to see where you start. Then you do what you're going to do for the diet, and then you get back on the scale to see if it worked. But what you gained, who does that? But what you lost isn't the impact. It's the result. It's the outcome. The impact is what's going to happen to your health long term. How are your clothes going to fit? So we have to start thinking in terms of impact. You know, I heard about a wonderful project where you're giving children warm coats. That's fantastic. What's the impact of that? Are you tracking what's the impact? Are they skipping less school because they're not cold on their way and they're going to school? So think about the ways that you can measure the value, find the value of what you're doing. The second one is increasing our reach. Now this one is sometimes hard for traditional Rotary clubs to think about. Increasing our reach means we have to think about innovative ways to make Rotary accessible for everybody. The story I tell here is when I was younger, I used to go disco dancing with shoes like that. That's probably why my knees are so bad. And before I would leave the house, my father would grab me and say, "Where are you going with those shoes on? You're going to kill yourself." I'd say, "No, Dad, don't worry about it. We all know how to walk in them, and we all know how to dance in them because that's how we do it." So I tell Rotarians that story because the way I do Rotary is not the way that she wants to do Rotary or that she wants to do Rotary. People come to Rotary with different expectations and different ways that they want to do Rotary. Think about the first Rotary Club, all right? Paul Harris gets together. He's an attorney and he has no friends. Sorry, he's in a new city and he has no friends. that came out wrong. And so he finds 3 other people and says, let's get together every week. And we'll go to your office one week and your office, and we'll rotate, which is how we got our name. So for him, Rotary initially was about fellowship. It wasn't about service. Service came 18 months later when they put that first toilet block in the city of Chicago. And there are some people who hear that we are a service club, and they say, yes, I do. I want to roll up my sleeves, and that's what I want to do. That's great. Yet others look and say, look at all those Rotarians. Those are all business people, or have been. I have a business. They have business. Maybe I could network there. Well, of course you could. We're the original business networking group. And then others, same thing. They look and say, there's a lot of experience in that room. I'm young in my profession. If I got involved there, I bet I could learn about project management or public speaking or leadership. Of course you can. So we have to be sensitive to what are people coming to our club to do? What are their expectations? And the best way to do that is talk with them as they come in, or at least once a year, ask our members. Do you like where we meet, when we meet, what we're doing? Are there things we should be doing that we aren't doing? And find out, what people are driven by. And this is also the priority that makes us think about expansion. If there's a Rotary Club in a town like here, does that mean there isn't room for a second kind of club? A satellite club? A cause-based club? In my community, we have the McMurray Rotary. We also have an impact club. There are people that don't meet at all. They just go out and do service. And then every other month, we have a special pizza, beer, and Rotary night for them. And only 2 Rotarians go. And we become the mentors because we start talking about Rotary things because they're not coming to meetings. They don't know about Rotary. We also have a group of people who play pickleball, and they're forming a Rotary cause-based club around an interest. So think about opportunities, because the way that we do Rotary may not be the way that everybody in our communities want to do Rotary. That's why the Council on Legislation gave us e-clubs, cause-based clubs, satellite clubs, all those different models. That's why we have them. The third one, enhancing participant engagement, you're nailing it. You're nailing it. It means making sure that people in the club are active in the club, are doing things, are being involved in the activities of the club. And again, the best way to find out what they're interested in is to ask them. If you've got a member who hasn't come to meetings 4 or 5 weeks in a row, that's a red flag. There's something going on there. Somebody needs to reach out to that person and say, hey, what's going on? You know, I have a terrible story about that from my area. I had a friend who was a governor, and then he became a previous governor. And along the way, he developed Parkinson's disease and had some other health issues. And eventually, as I was moving up the ladder, I got a call from him one day. He said, Stephanie, I left Rotary. What do you mean you left Rotary? You're a previous governor. How could you have left Rotary? He said, well, I got ill. I was in this Rotary Club for 35 years. And for an entire year, not a single member called me and said, can I pick you up and bring you to a meeting? Do you need anything? He said, they don't really care about me. Everything in life is about relationship building, and Rotary is no different. Our product is our club experience. When people walk through the door to our club meetings, we want everybody to feel like this is where I belong, and we have to work at that. That means not sitting at the same table every week with the same people. It means getting to know people and getting to know who your members are. And then the fourth one is about increasing our ability to adapt. And here I like to talk about cultural innovation, not just technology innovation. cultural innovation. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. Okay, what does that mean? That means what I really talked about just previously, that if people don't feel right, if they don't feel that they're in the family of Rotary, they're not going to want to stay in the family of Rotary. So we have to constantly be looking at the culture of our club. Is it welcoming? Is it friendly? Is it exciting? And I can't tell you how to do that. You have to figure it out in your clubs. In my club, we figured out something to do. We have a door to come into our meeting. So every week when we meet, no matter who comes through that door, we stand up and clap. It could be a member, it could be the server, it could be the speaker, it could be somebody lost in the restaurant. We don't care, we stand up and clap. And it puts everybody in a good mood, and that's our way of making our culture a fun and exciting one. So those are just ideas off the top of my head about how we move into the future with the action plan. It's a tool, it's not a mandate, but when we use the tool to evaluate what our clubs are like, it helps us take a look at how can we get better, continuous improvement. The other 4x4 I want to talk about are just some comments about the 4 things that I spent 2.5 years talking about around the world. And you heard some of them. I talked about membership, I talked about peace building, I talked about continuity, and then I talked about polio. So just some quick things about membership. It's not a secret that we have been in a serious decline for over 2 decades. The good news, if you call it good news, last year, for the first time in 2 decades, we slowed attrition. What's that mean? That means that less people left Rotary last year than in previous decades. Now, there are only 3 ways to grow membership. 1, you attract people to your existing clubs. You start new clubs, and you keep them. And that's the one that's been killing us, the retention. We spend so much time, so much energy inviting people, getting people to come to our meetings, to our events, to see what's happening, yet we don't follow through with that. And they feel lost. And within a year, they're out the door. So we have to really get a better handle on retention, to really figure out how do we keep those people. We want people to feel this is where I belong. In North America, we're probably going to lose a zone this coming year because every 8 years, Rotary is mandated to do a zone realignment. Now, at the club level, that doesn't mean anything to you. But at the Rotary board level, it means it will have 1 less director from the United States. So we really need to think about, okay, let's look at these new models, let's look at bringing in young people, let's look at bringing in people who are different than we are, and let's see if we can build our membership so that we can move in that more positive direction. Peace building has always been on my radar screen ever since I was a kid. I was bullied in school, that didn't feel good. I was an abused woman when I was married, that didn't feel good. My father served in World War II, and I listened to his stories, that didn't feel good. I watch the news every single day, conflicts all over the world, that doesn't feel good. So for me, peace building is an important part of our DNA as Rotarians. It's what we're supposed to do. We're an organization built on world understanding and peace. And I was delighted to hear about peace polls that are going up and peace fellows that are being sponsored by districts to get into our peace centers and all the different peace activators and things going on in our world. It's important for us to continue to do those so that the world understands how important it is for us. So for those of you who don't know what the significance of a peace pole is, it's actually a monument. And it's erected somewhere in your community, in a park or on a school campus. And it has multiple sides. And in languages that represent your community, it says, "May peace prevail on earth." It could be English, it could be Braille, it could be whatever. New ones have QR codes. You can also put QR codes that go back directly to your club. So if somebody from the community who's not a Rotarian sees this pole, the idea is not that the pole's not going to stop a war. That's not what we do. It's not going to negotiate the release of hostages. It's going to make people stop and say, what's my role? How do I deal with that? You know, what's happening to my children? Are they being bullied? What am I doing in this relationship with a person who doesn't respect me? That's what peace poles do. And it says Rotary, and it reminds people that that's what we do. Continuity, again, you guys have this one covered. Continuity is so important because we, as an organization, have to thrive on continuity. Think about our model. Last year, Randy, this year, Jim. Every year we change presidents. What would happen to your business if every year your CEO or your president left? It would fall apart. But Rotary has stayed the course for 120 years. Why is that? It's because we believe in the power of working with those who come before us and those who come after us. Those of you who are in the governor line, you know how important that is. You go for training when you're a nominee, when you're an elect, when you're in the role, and then as a previous guy. And that's what we want to do with our president's lines as well. And you're doing it. You're doing it. And that's marvelous. That's the beauty of our organization. We have 1.2 million members. There's no reason that we should have people repeating president's jobs. President's role is the biggest, most important role in Rotary. And I'm not talking about RI presidents. I'm talking about you who have served as club presidents, because that's where Rotary happens. It doesn't happen in Evanston. It happens in every community around the world that is fortunate enough to have a Rotary club. And finally, just a comment about polio eradication. You know, we've been working on this since the mid-1980s. Well, actually since 1979, when President Jim Bomar went into the Philippines and immunized that first group of children. And we've been working on it, and we have brought the numbers down. When we started, polio was in over 125 countries. And it's in 2 now. And we have, and we have challenges, but our End Polio Now coordinators and people with the polio initiative and all of our partners meet regularly to think about new strategies and new ways. You may have heard 2 years ago, the Taliban says you can't go house to house anymore. That's it, done. Okay, so that group got together and said, well then let's take children to one spot and we can get vaccination material to that spot. So they go from a mosque to a mosque, and they immunize 5 children at a time who show up at the mosque. So our creative people are looking at what it is that we need to do to make that happen. And you know, that's our corporate project. People frequently say to me, what are we going to do next? And the answer is, we're not even talking about next. Until we get this done, it's not done anywhere. You all were around 3 or 4 years ago when polio ended up in New York and then in London. And that's what can happen if we don't get rid of it everywhere. It's insidious. And so that's why, as Rotarians, we're proud, we're committed, and we're going to be a part of history when we get this done. So, to wrap up, you're celebrating an anniversary, which is really a birthday. You're 100 years old. And I'm looking forward to, oh, maybe I'll be here at 125. I don't know. Maybe. I'll be 95 then, so we'll see. But I always like to come to a party with a gift. So my gift to you tonight is a song for you. Happy, happy anniversary as we celebrate together. Happy, happy anniversary. May we serve the world forever. Happy, happy anniversary. Here's to sharing Rotary's magic. 100 years of Louisville service. Happy, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, everyone. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. She had me with bovine insemination. So Stephanie, you're an amazing person. You've contributed so much to Rotary and so much to people around the world. Thank you for your service. You are appreciated. All right, folks, we're going to get into the fun of the 50-50 drawing of the who won the bids for the raffles tonight. And then I also am informed that somebody at each of your tables is going to be a lucky winner of the flowers. So what I'd ask you to do is everybody at your table count off. So I think we have, 8 people at each table? Count off and pick a number at your table. So everybody pick a number. All right. So Stephanie, what's the magic number? Number 4. For those who are number 4 at your tables, thank you to Cindy Petiti for making the flowers available, and you can bring them home with you this evening. All right, we are going to do the 50-50. So who has the 50-50 tickets? All right. So Jim, if you would pull a 50-50 ticket. And what is our final amount? The amount is $277.50 for our lucky winner this evening. Stephanie is pulling the magic ticket. Just one ticket. All right, and this is an orange ticket, folks. 707481. That's 707481. All right, we have a winner. John, you got the money? Let's send you over there. Okay? No. We do indeed have a winner, and if you go to the table over there, the man standing has the payoff. All right, I'll ask Amy to come forward with the silent auction items. And let's find out who had the lucky highest bids.
Okay, thank you to all of the businesses and people that donated today. They have some really nice baskets. I'll start with the ladies' cubic zirconium drop pendant. That was Cynthia Yeagley. The lottery and gift cards with the mom. Rochon at table 9, so it's either Eva or Brad. So. Okay, the Coca-Cola basket. Scott, is it Boston at table 10? Table 10, did I say that right? Yeah. The Yeti, you. Or Jen. Top Flight Pasta was Nicole Israel. Yay, Virgil's. Morris at table 16. Family Y membership is Shondor over here at table 4. And the Happy Holiday basket is Mike Bronsman at table 6. And then Dinner with Demond was the Andersons at table 3. And Taste of Louisville with the gift basket was the Andersons at table 3. So, thank you guys. When we get set up back there to check out, I don't know if it's back there already. Yep, awesome. I'm going to hand these to him, and he can check you out. Like we said, we can do cash, check, or we can bill you. Okay? Thank you guys.
And again, thank you so much to the local businesses. You get called on often, and we always appreciate your support of the Rotary Club. These dollars tonight will go into the community to have impact and measurable impact, Stephanie. So before we finish off with our benediction, I just want to do some closing remarks. I've been taking some notes this evening on some of the things that I heard. And beyond bovine insemination, I think there are some things that we can all take away. First and foremost, service for life. I think about, when I think of Bill, 66 years in Minerva. Jim, 54 years in Louisville. I still think about that. Jim must have got born and went right into service because 54 years is pretty amazing. What I also heard is there's a strong focus on service. That Rotary is about fellowship and relationship building. It's about community collaboration. Active clubs are attractive clubs. Improvement, which we're all looking for, but with measurable impact. Ethical decision-making, peace building, and my favorite, global polio eradication. Folks, the spirit of Rotary is infectious. Service is alive and well in the Louisville Rotary Club. Congratulations to 100 years, and let's look for another successful 100 years. Thank you, everybody. And at this time, I'd like to call up Father Sebula for the benediction. And also, folks, please feel free to stay around for fellowship. Fellowship is a big part of what we do, and the bar doesn't close till 10. So we've got some excitement coming up. Father, thank you.
As this evening's celebration draws to a close, let us bow our heads and pray for this benediction. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hand and grant you safe journey back to home, to family and loved ones. Amen.
Everybody have a great night. We look forward to your fellowship.
And that was the Louisville Rotary 100 Years Celebration. I would like to thank everybody for coming on tonight. We had a great time. Just a phenomenal time this evening. And just some great speakers. And just a great feeling tonight as the Rotary turns 100 years old, folks. Not many people can say that they've been a part of an organization or of a group or so forth that has been around for 100 years. And to that, I want to say congratulations and hats off to the Louisville Rotary. I am honored and privileged to be a part of this organization. So, well, that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank you all for coming on. We had a great time. And join us tomorrow for a Little Leopard football. We'll be on the air for that tomorrow. And then, of course, over on YSN for girls' senior night on Monday night for girls' soccer. So, again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. This has been the 100-year anniversary for the Louisville Rotary. So I'm Rob Johnson signing off tonight. We'll see you in a gymnasium, stadium, or event near you. Till next time, everybody. Have a great night.